pride in your work was set in us right from day one, because we were starting from the bottom. You know, we didn't have any kind of name. We just had to have a good product or people wouldn't come back.
It's pretty amazing that they took the chance and it worked. And I think it was the combination of the two of them. They were both teachers and they both, you know, brought their strengths to the business, you know.
I wanted to do something different than I was doing. I went to school to be a industrial arts teacher. Couldn't find a job right in a general area. I wanted to live in Brainerd. And so we decided to just go for broke and set something up in Jim's garage or pole barn and see if we could make a go of it.
We started in 1980. As far as the economy and everything else was really tight, you know, like I say, interest rate on one loan we did take out as far as like 18%. You know, now for the last how many years it's been 1, 2, 3, you know, 4%, whatever. So 18%, you don't expand very far.
Started here about 82. The kids would stick our lumber out in the yard, and we had that little tiny kiln over there. Bruce had that dialed in, you know, but it did a good job, but just not much, you know.
Well, I started working at the shop when I was 12, and first thing I did is work on getting my pilot's license. Piling wood here, I'd pilot there, I'd pilot anywhere anybody told me to put it, so.
I think I would just come into the shop and just swipe hammers and stuff because the you know, 4 or 5 employees at the time were always looking for hammers, and where are they at? You know, out in the woods, building forts.
You're supposed to have a business plan when you go into business and say, okay, I'm going to project this out and this is what I'm going to be doing in 5 years. And we went at it the opposite way. Well, let's figure out how to produce it first, and then we'll figure out how to sell it.
One thing, you know, we noticed there, wood flooring was completely out in the markets. It was kind of on a down thing, and it was like out of it, and nobody could get wood flooring more or less. And so we started making wood flooring and paneling.
Slowly moved into making doors and radius trim, stuff like that. But in the old days, it was just a lot of guesswork and hard work, and we figured out how to do all kinds of different things that we had a market for.
We had an old drum sander. We had to start it. We didn't have enough power at the time. So when we'd start it, we had to lift the motor off the ground and slip the belts. It had V-belts on that motor, and we'd slip those belts.
You could pick the motor up, clutch it in by dropping it down, and it would slowly get everything going. And
it'd start moving, you know, and making all this noise and racket. It was quite a piece of equipment.
Yeah, that was quite the machine. That was our first sander, but it got us by.
The thing is that you got to have successes as you go along. So we made some money, well then you plowed it back into the business, and then you ended up, you know, as far as taking your time and growing slow, ever so slow.
We've been really lucky because we've had a really good employee base over the years and a lot of real talented people.
We treat every employee like family. Because they are.
It's not that anyone's watching or that people are going to see it all the time, because a lot of this stuff gets hidden, you know. It can be the backside of a board, the inside of a door, but yeah, stuff like that, little details that everyone here takes pride in what they do.
To see it keep going and keep prospering and to pass it on to Joe and Brent is, yeah, it's wonderful.